Ali, if you had to choose, you're going to love this.
Doubt it.
I know. To drink tea for the rest of your life or coffee for the rest of your life?
That's actually hard. If you would have asked me a year ago, I would say tea, no question.
This is why I asked it.
But I have converted, I think. But I need both.
You do drink a lot of tea still, though.
I still do drink some tea, yes. Especially with when I'm at the club. Brian and Callum, spot of tea, a spot of tea, a spot of tea, yes, white please. And but you do need your iced Americano once a day, don't you? Just once a day.
I'm not a tea person, so I wouldn't know it'd be coffee 100%.
100%, yeah. Be interesting to see what the guys think. So
let us know what you think.
Yes. Today, Barak, let's speak about something that maybe has caused a bit of a stir on social media, especially with our fans on Facebook.
Right.
So we had an interview with Mohammed Mofal, right?
Yes, and he said we. Yes, I know what you're talking about. And he
said we. So Mofal is an acquaintance of a player. He's friends with some of the players. And I met him and I invited him to the Tottenham match. And he was gracious enough to accept. So he came over to the match and he sat next to me and, we got to know each other. And then he got me a shirt that he wore in Waterford at his last club in Ireland, and he signed it and he gave it to me, and that with the pictures and when he started to speak about the game, the Tottenham match, and I asked him some questions, he said we. So people thought that or presumed that he was joining Salisbury. We tried. Brian tried, actually, it wasn't just now, he tried previously too, but as we said, the issues with the budget being approved late due to the takeover, he couldn't get many of his targets, his A targets, so I have to be careful. He didn't get the targets that he wanted in the beginning of the transfer season with the budget he had. So he tried and he tried again. I was... I'm pretty close to the footballing side of it with Brian and Callum and Theo. So I know what's happening, the ins and outs, and it's something I really do enjoy at the club. I really do enjoy it. So they ask me to actually speak to some of the players in recruitment. Because, the players, they need to... It's not simply we come, we get paid, we score a few goals, or we do well and we leave. It's not like that, The players are smart. They have a brain, They want to know what they're buying into. They're wasting the prime years, or they're using or they're utilizing the main years of their footballing careers at a place which will help elevate that place, supposedly. So they want to know that the vision aligns with what they have. The dream is something that they share. What we have, what we're trying to build, they want to be a part of. It's not simply, so you play a 4-3-3, all right, where will I play? Left wing? Okay, blah, blah, blah. It's not like that. Unless you're a Man United, a Chelsea, a Southampton, a Portsmouth. I know everyone is they care about those clubs over there. Tottenham, Towie. None of that here. So they need to be sold the dream.
Watch him not even mention Liverpool. Great. Wonderful.
Or the other Manchester team, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Negligible teams at best. So, it's bigger than just having the manager speak and sell the dream. So with players, now I'm not speaking about Mofal, all right? I'm speaking about other players that this happens to.
We're actively recruiting lots of players in lots of positions.
Yes. And this starts with the management team, right? Brian and Callum. They work on this. They scout, they scour the software companies, software scouting, sorry.
How come they don't use our grand network of scouts?
If you mean the grand network of scouts, that's Brian, Callum, Theo, and sometimes Ali, but he's quite useless.
Yeah.
And then I would say that it's hardly grand,
Yeah.
but it doesn't lack an effort. But one thing I'll say, they do have an eye for talent. They do have an eye for talent. That's something that I've seen up close and personal, and I keep a note of these things in a database I keep of the players that they recommend and have to and try to go after that we have failed in. Because we're a part-time outfit, players would prefer a full-time outfit.
Yes.
The quality, the echelon of players that they are looking for are higher than what the pool of part-timers are available for. Unless they accept to be part-time, but then they're
Right.
like, why do I go to a part-time outfit when I can go to a full-time team?
Right.
I practice more. I get more care, food in the morning. It's a totally different ballgame.
So can we talk about this or?
Sure, you can talk about whatever you want, and I can refuse to answer whatever I want.
So how come we're not? Is it such a big budget increase to go to full time? What are the benefits of being a part time outfit?
Number one, it's practice twice a week, so it doesn't strain your resources, be it the pitch you have, but usually it's rented out, so you rent less. The pool of players is different. So they usually have other jobs. You don't pay them as much. So it has a direct effect on your budget. It's much more expensive. It's not an easy transition. It's a huge transition. You'll have them there as full-time players. You'll have to cater to their needs. They'll come in the morning, they'll eat, they'll have training sessions, tactical sessions. You have to fix up the place where they'll sit and have these sessions, if you will. They have more practice time. You need to get the pitches there. They're full-time employees, Barak.
Okay, but if it's just results based and performance based, is it objectively better to have a full time team?
For sure, there's no debate.
Do you consider it, or is it out of the question?
No, it is. We are working diligently towards it. So it's not guaranteed to have it next season, but we were working so hard to build up the foundations in order to have a hybrid or a full-time.
What does that mean?
It's fixing up the commercial side of it, where we have enough income to cover a majority of the expenditures that are needed, be it the initial investments of fixing up some of the stuff to have it properly ready for full-time players, and paying the wages that a full-time player requires. It's a huge jump, Barak.
Yes.
It's not a simple matter at all.
But the good thing is we are trying to work towards it.
Oh yes, we are really serious about it. If we want to seriously build this club, although I do tend to downplay that promotion and all that, that is something that I deeply care about.
Of course.
And it's something that really matters to me a lot. But it is no, I will not jump into deep waters without having the proper footing beforehand.
How possible do you think is promotion with a part-time?
It's possible.
Squad?
It's possible. It's happened before, but it's highly unlikely.
Okay.
And it's getting harder by the minute, because teams are paying.
The league is getting better.
The league is getting better to a degree that's unfathomable. It's a really strong league, and it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. The quality of players are improving,
Yes.
and the salary budgets are just exploding. Everyone's paying so much money. Owners are coming in with deep pockets, and they're throwing the money on the players. That's why it's not something that I look to do at all. We are paying a decent mid-table budget, but it's not something that I plan to be the top in the budget anytime soon. We will build on proper footings, have the proper revenues, things we were helping with in the Arabic side of it, with the social media and sponsors on that side, and also Toby and Amanda working out on the English, in the locals and the British side of the sponsorships and the money coming in. So that's one of the main hindrances of actually going deeper and fighting for promotion. If fans feel that it's smarter to throw money and just be out of cash in 3 or 5 years, being top in budget, then that'll be interesting. You know, do they want to go for it, and then in 5 years, you know what, we'll sell the club for £1 with debt all over, or is it just?
We talk constantly about sustainability, and without it, you can't get to. You can't sustain, right?
Sure.
You can't keep on going. So building a good foundation of commercial revenue is of utmost importance.
Yeah,
let's go back to.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Recruiting. So one of the issues we have with recruiting is, being a part-time outfit. What else is there with the difficulties that we face?
Sometimes the players are closer to another club. That seems to be a case in a lot of
geographically.
Geographically, so there's a club on his doorstep.
Right.
It'll take a lot to persuade him to drive a couple of hours instead of just driving 10 minutes to training. So the geographical issue is a hindrance, although we're pretty decently located, but still, there's usually a club that's closer.
Right.
Say with Southampton, Tottenham's closer.
What about results? Does that affect recruitment? Is it a downward spiral where you lose because you don't have the depth, but you can't fill the depth because you're losing, and so you lose more?
It is a vicious cycle, and that I'm sure that affected some of the players, but there are some players that actually took it as a challenge. So they're like, these are the results pre-joining, and these are results post-joining.
Right.
I'm sure there are people who have that that proper mindset.
Yeah.
And those are the people we want in our team. We need proper people that are strong mentally, not just following whoever's winning.
Go on, sign the contract.
Yes, we know you're listening. So that's another hindrance, the geographical one and the results.
Right. Is it your job to recruit?
I'm one of the team. With the footballing side, obviously Brian leads the group, and I'm just he considers me like an employee, which is exactly what I want to be considered. I help in whatever needs to be helped. Sometimes I help with some of the software, the scouting, the data analysis, as far as I understand it, and I come up with recommendations. But that's all I come up with. It's not like how things are with the other side of the everything else in the football club besides the footballing side. When you get someone, you trust them, you give them the ability to make decisions, and you support them because you believe in them. Or else how can you hold them accountable, correct?
Right. But let's make it clear, boss. Recruitment is not in any way part of my job, and if I do anything, you better be thankful.
We were thankful for that lunch we had with one of the players we tried to have join Salisbury. So Barak flew over from Kuwait, and he had this traditional gown we call dishtasha and qitra agal, and he flew from Kuwait. We met up in a restaurant close to Heathrow. We had lunch with a player and then coffee. It was like how many hours?
6 hours, yeah.
6 hours of meeting and presentations. So it was an interesting day to say the least. And we failed. That player decided to go to another club, and it seems to be the norm, because when we informed Brian about it and Callum, they were like, yeah, on to the next one. I am not used to sales. I don't like sales. So I was it brought me down a bit. I was visibly disappointed.
You can't let it get to you, because then your performance gets worse every second person, third person you go to. But if you treat it like everyone is your first, then it's a key to success.
But it did affect me in reality. I'm not. I've been working for a long time with businesses, and I had a lot of failures and a lot of success.
But it's different, Ali, because.
But I've never been in sales.
Yeah, this is not sales.
I hate sales.
It's different. It's a bit different, because with sales you're selling a product, a service. Here you're interacting with humans, and it gets personal.
Yeah, but I'm selling the club.
Right, but
the player.
Yeah, but
it's the same thing. In my opinion, it's the same thing. I'm trying to get him to sign, and I'm trying to get the customer to sign. You know, it's selling your product, because I believe in the club.
Right.
You know,
it's personal. That's what I'm saying.
When I was there, when I was speaking, I felt it was a no-brainer. There is. Why would anyone choose anything other than that? And I had this once. I think it wasn't you. I think it was Fahad who was in the meeting, and Toby. There was a supplier, a vendor who had a system come up to try to sell their product, software. I'm not going to go in any more detail. Or everyone.
It's called.
So they were like, it'll cost you X amount. I said, we can't afford that. Maybe we can do something in exchange for sponsorships or that. And then she said, but you know what would we get in sponsorship? It's not something. There's only so much we can give you. It's not like we can get value. And that made me snap. That I stayed quiet for a few seconds just to gather myself.
Make sure you're not going to say anything.
Just make sure, I
Too
wouldn't.
bad.
Yeah, and I was like, I disagree with you fully. I feel we're giving you more value than what you're giving us. You're giving us software. We're giving you eyes. We're giving you fans. We're giving you heart. We're giving you an opportunity to be part of something. I believe our football club is worth more than your multi-billion-dollar company or the solution you're trying to sell us. You are getting the good side of the product. We're getting the short end of the stick if we're to give you a board or some kind of sponsorship deal in exchange for that. And I don't like the tone that was used. And I feel, and I basically ended it there. It's like there's no, we're not going to pay anything, and we know there's no interest in our side. The guy with her felt my displeasure, and he tried to make it, to just make it a bit easier, if you will. She didn't mean it like that, but I was mad. I was. It was done for me. I was like, okay, yes. Is there anything else? All right. If there's anything else, this meeting is done. I have no interest in continuing. Toby was there. But Toby is a really good guy. He's very well mannered, and I'm usually like that. But then my switch is very close. It's very close. So. It's just, I nearly lost it saying the story again. So this lady came through a reference at the club, and I apologized to that reference because of me just fighting back, being defensive about my club. It's because I feel that I am now one with the club. It is personal, as you said. It is personal. It is a part of me like no other business I've had before. And that person said, I don't blame you. Mm-hmm. That lady is very aggressive, and anyway, that's that. So selling that product, and then I believe in, and I love, and I feel so much passion for. And then being let down with the decision, really, it got to me. And when I was at the club, they noticed that. And they were like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Because I'm usually bubbly and happy and energetic. But I wasn't that day. It was not bad. I had to go sit down with myself, spend like just a few minutes gathering myself and putting myself together to be who I am.
Right.
But it's good I noticed that.
Yeah.
And I had to go back and just control the emotions. Because at the end of the day, as you said, it's not the end of the day, fine, it happens. But everything is written,
Exactly. And on to the next one.
On to the next one, indeed, and that's the hard bit. I mentioned this. I maybe didn't continue. The spreadsheet I have mentioning the players that we're going after. So I don't speak to anyone. It's when Brian asks me to intervene when he feels that the player wants to know more about the vision or what's going on, or he feels that it'll add some value. I'm not asked to do this for 99% of the players, but when I do, I tend to prepare myself and pitch it in a way that a businessman would, because I need the commercial side, I need the football club. Now, I made a log of the players that were recommended by Brian and Callum, even if verbally, and you'll be shocked by how well they're doing at their new clubs. Good
eye.
I am absolutely shocked by how accurate and good their eyes are. It's ludicrous, you know. So when I'm there, we go to football matches, a lot of football matches, just scouting upon scouting, and then they have Wyscout and StatsBomb and all these softwares. You know, some are data and some are highlights for the eye, and they do this time after time after time, and it just gives me so much confidence in handing the recruitment to them when they get it right so often, you know? Yes. But then they get rejected not because of the scouting process and it's because of the issues we mentioned: part-time, far from the players, the financials might not work, they might not be in the budgets, too expensive, and it just grows, you know.
Yeah.
So when I was in this and I was speaking, you know, the recruitment and speaking to the player or the players, and they say no, you know, I'm a bit used to it maybe now, but it's hard, you know. The process takes so much time, days upon days, until the individual is identified. Once he's identified, you have to persuade him, and then you have to fight off other teams that are vying for his signature, and then to have him sign. It's not even 10%, Barak.
Yeah.
With what I've seen, it's closer to 2%. It's ludicrous.
Yeah.
I would have lost hope long ago, you know, but they just keep on, you know, persevering and trying just to get that proper player in.
You know, this is unique to England. You know, I've doing my job here in Kuwait. I've been meeting a lot of people from football here in the region, and I've had people tell me that even in European countries, in the lower leagues, players pay clubs to play. Can you imagine?
That's amazing.
They pay them to play, for the privilege to play for that club. And here is one of our partners was telling me, one of our business associates was telling me that one of the newer teams in Kuwait, I think last year or a couple of years ago, started their club, and they fielded a trial for their first team. And he said 200 people showed up for the trial. They had an issue in logistics, just dealing with the 200 players, how to play them, how to test them, how to trial them. And so, you know, in England, it's different, right? There's so many clubs, you know, and there's good regulation around it, where you can't just flood the market with outside talent as well, right? Which I know it sucks for us as a team, but I think it's good for the community. You don't have players not being able to play. For the most part, of course, this happens, but these regulations work for the players, and it's up to us to fight back and try to get players as hard as we can. But in other places, it's not this hard at all. That's a recruitment episode.
Yes,
appreciate it, Ali. Thank you.
No problem. See you guys in future episodes.